Hi guys, welcome to day 18 of the 21 Day Purpose Challenge. So congratulations for sticking all of this out, for making it this far, for doing all that heavy lifting, for going into discovery, for seeing what it costs you to not live purpose, to spending time in nature, to creating with your vision board, and then for spending 6 whole days at working with resistance, all the different places that you get stuck from living your purpose in the world. So now we're going to actually give you the practical skills to move your purpose out into the world. Yesterday you began with the empathy exercise to find out what you're most connected to and began to select a project. Now today we're going to plan that project. So we're moving into the more and more action each day. So I understand this is going to bring up a lot of resistance because now it's getting real. Now it's like not just a personal development program, but like, ooh, wait a minute. It's not just about my purpose, it's about moving it out into the world. And this can be scary. Resistance can come up, especially our image consultants when say, oh yeah, by the way, I have a purpose now. And people are like, what? You're crazy. Nobody's got a purpose. Or sure, you got a purpose, pal, or whatever. So just know that resistance is going to come up. And you've now got some skills that are going to go back in and to deal with that resistance. I also want to introduce this a part of purpose that we haven't really presenced in kind of a structural sense. We've been talking about it kind of in a hypothetical or theoretical sense. It is about the power of community. So your purpose is, after this program is over, is going to die if you don't create community around you. So you got to have people who are committed to the same thing you're committed to. So whether this is an intentional circle like men's group, women's group, that sort of thing, whether you do another program, like you could do the Psi Omega program or the P4 course and be in community of people who are holding each other accountable to taking action on their purpose. You could have a mentor. There's a gazillion things you could do, but you've got to create community because that's the only way the conversation is going to stay alive. Otherwise, it's going to regress back to that kind of homeostatic mean where you don't take action, where you're not living your purpose, where it remains this kind of like sweet memory from 3 weeks you spent in 2016. Oh yeah, I found my purpose once. Yeah, didn't do anything with it though, but life is good. Job's all right, almost retiring, and yeah. So you don't want to have to have that conversation with yourself or with anybody else. You want to be like, yeah, I found my purpose, and then I did this, 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 and this. I created a community, I got into action, and I began to move it out into the world. So as you know, Saturday is completion day. So you will get the very last exercise, and you have a whole week to finish the exercises and get your completion bonuses, which is the Love on Purpose exercise, your certificate, and just to know that you have completed something, that you have spent 3 weeks completing. Now, for many of you, you may be the type of person who doesn't complete something, or that's your pattern. That shows up a lot. That's maybe one of the ways one of your ego parts keeps you from living your purpose. Like, oh, start it, but you don't have to finish it. You got the basics of it, and you don't got to finish it. I want you to try on that this shows up everywhere in your life. Of course, if you are the kind of person that doesn't complete something, that if you don't complete this, this is going to be just like everything else that you didn't complete. And so you get to step into an identity as a person who completes. If you complete this challenge, the next thing you complete, you'll cement that identity. And soon enough, you have a pattern. And soon enough, you've got a full ego structure. Susan is somebody who completes things, who doesn't say she's going to do something and then falls short on it. So I really want to encourage you to step into your identity as an adult, as somebody who completes. I do what I say I'm going to do. So you started a challenge and now you can finish it. And there's not that many days left, so you can do it. So just remember, the exercises are going to come down on the 28th, unless you sign up for the Challenge Plus program. So you've got, 10 more days, more or less, to finish everything, complete the MPQ, complete all the exercises and the post-challenge survey, and then consider yourself completed with a 21-day challenge. So today I want to tell you about how a purpose project gives you a lot of power. When you move your purpose into action, it gives you a lot of power. It allows you to be somebody who isn't necessarily driven by the opinions of others. It allows you to be driven by your own excitement, by your own organic expression of purpose. So when I started doing my purpose guiding work, one of the first people I guided was my mom. And now she's off to the races with her purpose project. So she helps children of Mariposa County in the Northern California Sierras achieve better learning outcomes. But that wasn't kind of where she started. She actually started, when she crafted her purpose project and put it into action, it was initially to try to create adult learning education. So to empower Mariposa's working families with a better education about how to create learning positive environments for the children to study, to learn. And what she ended up finding was that there was no appetite for that kind of education. Parents were already maxed out, already working too hard. They didn't have any time for the kids as it was, and to give them more education wasn't going to make a difference for them. They just simply would not, do the program. So she heard a lot of no's. She put her purpose into action and heard no a lot. And so she began to feel defeated, but then something occurred to her. She's like, my project doesn't stop because I hear a no. She turned that no into, okay, well, now what can we try? And so, as she's kind of, tacked and jibbed and found her way, now she's developing tutoring programs in Mariposa County schools. So she's going at the problem at its source, creating these tutoring programs and training tutors to make a big difference so that, in 5, 10, 15 years, the Mariposa County education system is improved. So we've got all these people who have had the basic rudimentary training and tutoring at a very young age. So by the time they get to high school, now suddenly potentially college is an option. So that's really the gift of the Purpose Project. It allows you to structure your learning, and you're going to do that today. You're going to start to structure how your project is going to move out into the world, so that you can continue to evolve. And this requires that you be committed to your purpose, not attached to how it looks. So if my mom was attached to making a difference with adult education, she probably would, be totally stuck in a Purpose Project. But she was committed to the outcome. So the outcome is that kids have better learning environments. So she couldn't create it in people's homes, so she created the tutoring program. So today I'd like to share with you a powerful quote from one of the most controversial, radical, yet empowering philosophers I know, Friedrich Nietzsche. So Friedrich says, "He who has a why can live for and can bear almost any how." So basically, what Nietzsche is saying is that if you know what it is that you're committed to, you have your why. A no is not a no. A no is just, that didn't work. It's like Thomas Edison. He didn't discover the light bulb. He first discovered 10,000 ways that a light bulb didn't work. And that's all it is. So as soon as you know your organic purpose, your why, you can go out and try it, test it, try it and test it, try it and test it. It's just a matter of time. It's a matter of when, not if. When you will be successful, when you will connect your product or your service to your customers, when your book will sell, when you'll get the legislation passed, when you'll eradicate poverty. When. It's a question of when, not if. So this is what Nietzsche is urging you and all of us, really, is that in this space of being freed from other people's approval, other people's meaning, we can also free ourselves from the narrative we tell ourselves around no. When we get rejected, which we will, which you will, it doesn't mean a single damn thing about you. It's just the word no. And you can create an empowering context like Edison, oh, well, figured out that didn't work. Now let's try this. Okay, I figured out that didn't work. Or you can be like, oh, I need everyone to like me and love me, and if they don't, then I'm going to change what I'm doing. I need to hear yeses and, attaboys all the time. That's a disempowering context, and that's going to stop you dead in your tracks. So the second half of this kind of teaching from Friedrich is that your happiness actually doesn't matter. That when you are alive with your life's purpose, you can take action even if you're not happy about it. You don't need to feel like it to take action in your purpose project. You don't need to like be rewarded by an ice cream cone every time that you do something. Your why is the reward. So happiness is fine and good for children and for folks near the end of their life. Yeah, make them happy, make them comfortable. See some joy in their face. But for adults, happiness can be a serious handicap because your path of purpose depends on you taking uncomfortable actions over and over and over and over again. So if you're committed to your own happiness, you're not committed to your why, you're not going to bear almost anyhow. You're going to be like, oh, well, that doesn't make me happy. So, I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to write my book. I don't want to, work on my website and create a partner and talk to my customers. Your life is going to be in this I don't want to cycle when you're committed to your happiness because you're like, oh, I just want to do things that make me happy. Well, with purpose, happiness ends up becoming more fulfillment. Like, yeah, I worked my ass off today. I didn't get that as many yeses as I want, but man, I got the satisfaction of knowing that I contributed myself towards my highest goal, my vision for the world. I learned a lot today. So that's what you're going to do today as you move into your purpose project. You're going to structure your purpose project for learning, not necessarily for outcome. So our commitment in the purpose project is to learn, not necessarily to, your very first thing you do to be a financial success or to eradicate poverty next week. What your commitment is to the long-term vision, and this is what you're going to practice with this purpose project exercise. As we activate it, move your purpose into action. So stay tuned for tomorrow. We're going to take it even further. I'm really proud of you. Complete, and we'll see you soon.